to make paella. Now, we are in the Fannie Farmer Cookbook, and she has a recipe in here for vegetable paella. And the minute I looked at it, I was like, I'm going down a road that is very dangerous, because she cooks this in a way that no other paella has ever been made in my book. More like it's just a rice dish, right? It's not paella. But I am committed to seeing this through, right? And I know I'm going to get blasted clear off the internet. But today we are going to do Fannie Farmer's Vegetable Paella, even if it means for the next 100 years, I got to hear about it, right? Fannie. Please don't let us down this time. Welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. Oh, Fannie, Mary and Fannie. When I took a look at this recipe and I read the instructions, I was like, this is so wrong, right? So paella is one of those like family dishes that everybody has their way of doing it. And there's no agreement really about what is exactly traditional. But one of the things I can tell you when I read through this recipe, I was like, this is wrong on every level, right? Because paella to me is ideally done over an open flame, but you don't have to do it over an open flame. You need a wide paella pan. You put your water in there, your meat, your vegetables, whatever you're going to do, and you sort of let the water set and you let it cook. You don't like stir it around and all this stuff. You don't cover it, right? And what happens is you get this amazing dish that comes out with this sauerkraut on the bottom, right? This crispy rice, not burnt on the bottom, but crispy on the bottom, right? And that is the beauty of paella. It's a complex dish that has soft right and meat and vegetables and the seasonings with this crispy on the bottom sauerkraut. That is paella. And that is what this recipe is not, right? So I know I love Marion Cunningham. I love her recipes, but I don't think this is paella, right? We're going to make it because I'm down with that, right? We're going to make it and we're going to see if it's a great dish. But I can tell you already, I'm a little nervous because I am going to get tore to shreds about this recipe.
So if you're an expert at making paella, leave a comment.
Yes. Scream as much as you want, but don't draw that attention towards Amy, right? This is not Amy's recipe for paella. I'm getting this. This is a Cookbook Club. This is a Fannie Farmer Cookbook. This is a Marion Cunningham recipe. Doesn't mean this is a bad book on any stretch of the imagination. I think this recipe is just titled wrong, right? So we're going to start making her version of vegetable paella. Oh, this is the 96 edition, but I looked at this when I was reading through this and I'm like, cook in covered, right? And I'm reading the ingredients and I was like, wait a minute, is that like a misprint? So I went back to her 79 edition. It's the same in that one. So she carried that recipe on through the 80s, into the 90s, into this book. So I'm assuming this is what she intended. So I really wish she didn't call it paella.
So she's happy with it, whatever it is.
Yeah, she's happy with it, whatever this dish is, right? So let me go grab the ingredients and grab my cooker. And let's start cooking paella.
Yeah, paella with quote.
Quote.
Air quotes.
Paella. Okay, so I have a regular paella pan. It's an all-clad. I'm using the widest pan that I have here. This is like a 15-inch.
Paella pans don't need lid.
Paella pan doesn't need lid, but this one
does have a lid.
2 onions. Yeah. All is well when the onions are stir frying, right? Sauteing. So we're going to cook these until they soften. Okay, so we're looking pretty good here. So we're going to put in some minced garlic. She says 2 cloves, but I don't know. I've never heard of 2 cloves of garlic. Does that exist? I have like
All right. So
6.
So you're trying to be a true follower of Mary Cunningham, but you just deviated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to do what I got to do. I'm going to Amyfy it in some way. Every time in some way. So she does an initial simmer with a little bit of stock and doesn't put the bell peppers in until we do that. I'm putting the bell peppers in now because I want a little color on them. Recipes are made to be broken.
So you're saying it's my achy breaky recipe?
Okay, so we're going to add some tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yay. Tomato.
Ain't a party without tomatoes.
Artichoke hearts. Interesting ingredient. I think some people put artichoke hearts in paella and some don't. Green beans.
Why not?
And peas. Those are frozen peas.
Fresh from the freezer.
I'm not going to sit up here and pick peas out of beans.
Yeah, we're not going to shuck them all day.
And I'm not going to use canned, that's for sure. So we need to put part of the stock in here. Vegetable stock. 2 cups.
Yeah.
We're going to put 2 cups of stock in here. So this is homemade.
Okay.
So
you just put 2.5 in there.
that's fine. This is homemade. So I'll put a link up here and down there how I do that. She has a recipe in the book as well.
Look how colorful that is.
Mine's delicious. Looks good. Doesn't look like paella, but it looks good. Mm-hmm. So we're going to bring this up to a simmer, cover it, and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been simmering for 10 minutes. Woo-hoo-hoo. So that looks pretty good there. Mm-hmm. So we're going to put some lemon zest. A lot. Thank you, Boo.
Sure. You said one lemon. I got you the biggest one you got.
We're going to put in paprika and turmeric. It doesn't have a lot, so I'm probably going to have to put in some more because that was only like half a teaspoon. I don't think that's enough seasoning for me. It's not enough seasoning.
Whoop, 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 whoop. That is not in the directions.
No. Neither was that. Or that. So if you have access to saffron, well, everybody has access to saffron because you can order it.
Does your bank account have access to it?
If your bank account. They had it local. But it was like $18 for a little thing. I'm not turning this into a $20 dish. Mm-hmm. Well, it probably is.
You're not adding 20 to it.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and stir this in. I'm going to have to put some salt in here because my broth is not salted. Which means I don't know exactly how much to put in.
Put a couple teaspoons to start, and then you can adjust later.
Couple teaspoons?
Yeah, because it's probably going to hit. That rice, right? Unless you're going to put a bunch of butter in there.
So I'm going to put in more stock. Mm-hmm. This is not going to fit in this. Some parsley.
Stir gently.
So paella usually has bamboo or Valencia rice. You want a medium grain rice. We live in a small town and I couldn't get it. She suggests to use arborio, which is like risotto rice. And you don't rinse this. Just put it in just like that. Stir it in. 1 pound of arborio. This is a lot of liquid in here.
But that's also a lot of rice. That's 1 pound.
Yeah. So we're going to cover this baby. We're going to cook it over medium-high heat, stirring only occasionally for 20 to 25 minutes or until the rice is done and all the liquid is absorbed. So we'll be back. So we have been cooking this for like 20, 25 minutes, right? There's still a little bit of liquid in there. But the rice is relatively tender. There's still a little bite to it. One of the problems with having that lid at the bottom, and there's no of that crispy bit on the bottom, like the caramelized soak rat that you get with paella, that's the core of paella. We don't have that with this. So I'm going to crank the heat a little bit, and I'm going to see if I can get a little bit.
Plus, we're not going to cook it with the lid removed.
Yeah, with the lid off of it. So we'll see what happens. So we'll be back in a few minutes. I think when I did a little taste test, I got the turmeric all down in front of me. So let's see if we have any crispy bits. She didn't have us do that. So I believe we have a little bit here, but I can't say it's like if you would have cooked it regularly, because I only got a little bit here.
Yeah, well, the other thing is we have a relatively small burner for a big hamburger.
Yeah. But one of the problems is, like, a lot of people's gas stoves don't have enough power anyway.
No, it's like cooking on a camper.
Yeah. Okay, so let's give Eric a little bit of this.
Uh-huh. Oh, look at that, baby. We got a little caramelization.
A little bit burnt. No, that's not right.
Huh?
It's supposed to be caramelized, not burnt. This is a fail, I think, right there.
Well,
Maybe I had the burner too high. So you could put chicken in this, you can put seafood, you can put whatever you want. A little bit of Spanish sausage, chorizo.
mm.
Not Mexican. Look at this, yeah. Rookie.
Hey, still tastes good, though.
Some beans. So let's give it an official taste test. So this isn't like authentic. I think if I would have had this saffron, I think if I would have the saffron, it would have been, maybe I need a little bit more salt.
Maybe.
Do you call it paella? I don't call it paella just because you're cooking it with the lid on. But
I mean,
it was tasty.
It's got most of the ingredients, though.
Yeah. Not a bad recipe. I would change some stuff about the process. If I could get the real bamboo rice, I need to go to. There is a market that I think I'm going to try to get it from there. We'll play around with it out on the burner. So I was skeptical. It is tasty. I know I'll get screamed at over the internet. Don't scream at the cook. Scream at the recipe. Because everybody has something to say about paella. But here in my home today, this is a tasty dish.
Very tasty.
I hope you enjoyed it.